Welcome to another episode of the APL show. Angels, positivity, and love. Incredible guests the world over with amazing insights, experience, and wisdom to share with all of us. We've been on air now for just over 2 years. We also have episodes booked, I think 333 into August 19th of 2026. Your support and your viewership has been amazing. Thank you for all the clicks, the likes, the comments. Emojis count as comments and it helps other people see the show. So thank you again. Very grateful. And we have just such a wide range of guests, international best-selling authors, recognized names as healers go, doctors, psychotherapists, scientists, and so on. Coming to us today from Melbourne, Australia is a energy healer, author. She's fantastic. Totally plugged in. If you said light language, that's her. I still think her skills are expanding. She had a big awakening in 2010. Gabriela Garbacz is joining us. And we've met before. We had a chance to play before we started taping. And I'm just super excited and thrilled to have her here. So, Gabriela, great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to be here and to see where we're going to go.
Exactly. And your energy is super high. What you do for others is a high vibration. Can you take us through a little bit of your journey? Again, in 2010, you had a lot happen and you got onto this healing path, helping others.
Yeah, 2010 was extreme. However, there was 20 years prior to that. So there was the preparation. So for me personally, it started with the mind. In early 1990s, I came across two books, Dare to Win and The Right to Fly. And first time I learned about the mind, that I actually have a mind. I can use my mind in a different way. And that excited me. So for many, many years, I worked with the mind. I became a meditation teacher. I shared the knowledge and experience with others. At the same time, I also found an opening into the heart because my experience was that no matter what I could create with the mind, I was still not fulfilled. I wasn't at peace. So then the journey into the heart, into forgiveness, opened up the door to the soul. And that's when the energy started to come in. So 2010 was what people call a Kundalini awakening, which was very uncomfortable. It took 6 weeks of shaking and wouldn't recommend for anyone. But once the process has completed, that's where I found peace, inner peace. And when that happened, it was kind of discerning because it was a new state of being for me. No thoughts and just space. And it took me a year or two just to get used to the different state of being I started to be in. But that opened up the door to light language, to having conversations with beings from other dimensional realms, and to expansion. So that's a long journey, not easy, but very exciting. And yes, and throughout the journey, I was able to share what I had with others, be in meditation, then healing. However, the transformation was like a flip from being the physical to the energetic.
And you penned 3 books along the way. I'm going to guess
Yes.
it's 2020, 2021, 2022, or something like that. Yes?
You see, the books are also a mystery because in 2012, I was sitting like we are now, and I participated in a webcast. And I went very deep within myself. And when the webcast finished, I could sense a presence. around me. And I simply open a document, put my hands on the keyboard, close my eyes, and I connected with the being. And I said, hello. And the being responded. And the being identified herself as Akazamira, a being from Aldebaran. And she said that we know each other very well. And it's time for me to remember who I am, where I'm coming from, and what my purpose on earth is. And she asked for 45 minutes of my time each day to connect in this way. So I did that for 5 years. And different beings over the time started to come in. So each conversation was recorded in real time while I was in a higher vibrational state. And after 5 years, in 2017, the beings told me that it's time for me to publish the conversations. And I was very reluctant. I said, no, this is private. This is our conversations. And I talked about many things in the conversations. And they said, no, no, no. Now humanity is ready to receive the energetic transmissions that are coded in the words. That's why I needed to have my eyes closed, connect, and be in the higher vibration. So then the words are coded, going through the hands, the energy going through the hands into the words. And people who will hold the books and read them will receive the same transmissions. So that's, while I was still connecting with them on a regular basis, I published the first book, Soul Wisdom, Remember Who You Are. And then the second one, Soul Wisdom, Transmission of Light. And then the last one, Point of Connection. So in 2019, the conversation stopped. They told me that this form of communication came to the end, and now we can just be. And that was surprising to me, because as if we were to connect for that many years, 2012 to 2019, and then you say to me, now we just can be, which means we know each other. We can just be in the same space and just, yes, so the books are very powerful. They're transformational. They look like books, but they're so much more. They contain the wisdom that came from another dimension. They want us to change our perspective on how we view ourselves and life, and remember who we are, because we're not what we think we are. They actually said what you think is not, and what you think is not is. So you cannot read them like normal books. You only read like 2 or 3 conversations, they short conversations a day, because it's like food for the soul. You need to be able to digest, and you won't remember anything. So, and the energy also changes from book 1 to 2 and 3. It intensified, because in the beginning I was very reluctant. Didn't know what was happening, but then as I became more and more comfortable with being with them, being open, I never knew who's going to come through, the energy intensified. So it's really a journey of transformation that people will go through when they read the first one, then they move to the second and the third, and then you start again. And then you will go to a deeper level than you did before. You will see different paragraphs, different words will speak to you. It's the food that needs to be digested slowly. And some people get stuck. In the second book, they can't progress because they're full of it. They haven't really digested. Yeah. So I love them. I love them with all my heart. I kiss them. I work with them every day. I am probably the only person on earth that has gone through them so many times and yet still get benefits, still can go deeper and deeper. So that's the journey with the books, that the light beings said that they're very excited that I speak their languages and can actually translate for them. So I was the translator for the different beings. Yes, so that's how the books came about.
Talk to us about how simple it all is. If you get out of thinking you're here, it's just about a little more kindness, compassion, love, and being, less doing. How's this all work again?
We as human beings, we have been conditioned and programmed for thousands of years into doing. We have to do. And even people ask you, what are you going to do this weekend? Where are you going? What you doing? So the state of being, it's something we're not familiar with. And state of being means you're not doing, you're just being with yourself, you're being where you are, very present. The way I understand it is it's like a mother. So the new energy that came through in 2012, 2013, it's the feminine energy, and it's different to the masculine. So the masculine energy, it's like the father. The father is doing, providing, where the mother is just being. She's just holding the child and not doing much, just loving and holding and being present with the child. So that's what we are asked to do. That's why people have difficulty walking, injuries with legs, because we're being asked to slow down and stop doing and just stay in the state of being for a while. Just introduce a little bit of this stillness within. And it's not easy for the mind, because the mind will tell you that you're wasting your time. What are you doing? You have to be doing, engaging. But it's not the time. We will have to find a balance between the doing and the being. So that's why I had to be in the state of being for 3 years and 3 months, just for an extended period. So I know how to be and be comfortable with it.
If a school bus filled with 7th form or 7th grade students pulled up right now, and there was a teacher or two who were curious, how would you explain the concept of the frequency of the planet, Gaia, Divine Mother, the Earth, being part of this, animals being part of this, that there's a expansion going on that isn't like 2010 or the shift back then, or 2012, somewhere in there. This is happening now, and there are people feeling it and seeing it. How would you keep it simple for the students, though, so they could appreciate how they're part of that expansion too?
I think the analogy of a mother, it's a really good one, because we know what it means to be a mother. So I would say to the children that they still remember, because they're children, they still remember what it is like to be open to new experiences, to say, I don't know what scent is, I don't know what snow is, I need to experience it to know it, and to be open to the fact that there is an unknown and I don't know, and that's okay. And they, in the process of learning, of expanding, they experiences. Not so much the intellectual concepts, beliefs and ideas, but the actual experiences. So in order for them to experience, they need to be. They need to be in a park. They need to be at the beach. They need to be in the snow in order for them to experience. So that's the difference. Because you see, like people are searching for peace, but lasting peace can only be experienced. It cannot be achieved through concepts and beliefs and ideas. So once we find the peace within, and then on a regular basis we go into the state is growing within us, but it has to be an experience. So for the kids in the bus, I would say, go, enjoy, experience, and be there. Because you know yourself, I say it all the time, people are at the beach, but they're not at the beach. They're either on the phone or in the mind, already doing something that they're going to do once they go home. They're planning, they're evaluating, they're processing something. They're in the past or in the future, but not at the beach. They're not smelling the air. They're not touching the water. They're not enjoying the wind, the breeze that is coming. They're elsewhere. So for the kids, it's to be present where they are, to just be where they are and enjoy it.
Do you have an experience that you can share where the universe stepped in, either a loving being or just synchronicity? What's one of those moments you can share?
What do you mean stepped in?
Either in physical form or you got some help regarding a particular situation that you still maybe scratch your head today and say, that was amazing. I can't believe that happened. Some people have strangers come up and say something they needed to hear. They turn back and the angel is gone. Others get help in other ways. Do you have one of those experiences you could share with us?
Well, this is just something that happens all the time. Once I started to follow the guidance. Instead of me controlling where am I going, what am I doing, with whom am I meeting, more as openness to guide me, show me, bring the people to me, then it's not so much that the universe is stepping in, it's myself letting go of all that I know and trusting and stepping in. And then the coincidences and the encounters with others, they're all magical. Because the people just come and say the things that I need to hear, or I say things to them they need to hear. I had instances where I would just meet someone on the street and we would start talking and they would tell me their whole life story. They just feel so comfortable and in the presence that it's been created in that encounter. And then after a while they say, why did I say all this? Why? Because it needed to come out. It needed to be received by another human. So life changes once we stop controlling and allowing the universe to take us where we need to be. So that honestly, this is like my life. Nothing comes to mind that just one specific thing, because they're all extraordinary for me.
Your whole background, your new residence is definitely part of the story.
I think this reflects the inner.
Yes.
Because, the 3 years where I spent, it was a not nice environment. However, the beings told me once, don't judge where your father will send you. And that helped me to actually go there and spend the time and do what I needed to do while I was there. So it's like the light needs to go to a certain places just to brighten the place. But this feels very, very much in harmony with how I feel and what I carry and what I have. It kind of reflected out.
I'm going to put up one angel named Joy for a topic and just hear what you hear from her and then take us where you will. But here's Joy. For people at home, if you want to put your hand up and feel the vibe, you can, or just catch flowers in the air. What is she reminding us to talk about?
Well, Joy said just to be yourself. And I think it's not an easy thing to do because as we're growing up, so the children in the bus, over time, they stop being themselves. And they pick up traces and different personality traces and different ideas about who they are. And they trying to do that. But there comes a time when we need to let all this go and go back to who we are. Without all these labels and ideas we have about ourselves. So that's a very, very important message, just to be yourself. Because someone will say, what is this? I don't know who I am. How can I be me? How can I be myself? I have no idea. So that's an important thing to know.
Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, I think a group of light beings. Dan Millman's book, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, the movie Peaceful Warrior, and Seth from the 1970s, a light being, beautiful. They all three talk about how it's not going to be found externally. It's here, the last place you want to go. And Seth added a little more flavor. It's going to be found by going here through the world you thought you knew into a much broader reality. Can you talk about the journey? Not everyone has to have a 25-year complex journey with a lot of details. Some people are going to have very rapid openings that they just came in for. Can you talk to us about this experience that for many is still ahead? It's only an eternal big question, so no pressure.
No, that's fine. No. It's just, I often feel like I'm just one step ahead of everyone else because I consciously walk the path. And, parts of it are not easy because parts of the journey require for us to let go. And letting go, it's not an easy thing to do. Parts of the journey requires us to undress, not physically, but emotionally and mentally. So all that I know of myself, it's not the truth. So to get to the truth, I need to take all the layers off. Some parts of the journey are very exciting. And that's what we were talking about with the encounters with people when the teacher comes and just opens you up to completely new things. We'll be able to see things that we couldn't before because the veils between realities, different dimensions, are getting thinner. However, the whole journey requires for us to open the heart. And there is no key to it. Because we use the words like, open your heart, Michael, open your heart. And you say, okay, I want to. Where is it? Unfortunately, the way to open the heart is through heartache, through hardship, through challenges. That's how the heart cracks open. And that's why the journey is not easy. However, what you will find inside, it's the most delicious, wonderful, beautiful states that you couldn't access before, like the state of peace, the state of joy, the state of love, unconditional love. All these things we need to get into through the whole process. So that's not that comfortable. However, the results are stillness, peace, love, compassion, but they're not words. They become experiences. You experience the state of those words. Because you see, another thing, I was asked, I had a very profound experience where I actually got to experience unconditional love. And then that light told me to go back and give love. Since I received it, now go back to earth and give love. And that was a place where I couldn't move through because I didn't know what love is. So I started to ask myself, what is love? Where is love? Who's got love? And if I do have it, how do I give it? How do I give you love, Michael? How do I do this? So it took over 20 years for me to get the answers to all this. And I found that the word love, it's the most misused word. Everyone is using it. And it's easy to say it. However, to feel it and to be in it, not so much feel it, because love, it's not a feeling. Love, it's a state of a harmony with myself and the world around me. So I'm no longer fighting with anything. It's, however, the state, it's just state. So you're not coming in and out, and it is. So yes, love, it's kind of misunderstood by many. However, we all crave it, we all want it. So yeah, the journey that everyone is going on will take everyone back to love.
I love it. I was at a concert in Austin, Texas, well, two concerts with European bands and very beautiful, small, maybe 3,000 people, but a beautiful layout, very, felt good. And I can't remember if it was this concert or the one like a month later, but I took this photo. It's a lot of angels, not raining, snowing, and joys in the center there. But two women came by and they're like, it's him. Then they came back a little later. We chatted for a second. Then they showed me connecting to the earth out of the blue. Two women came by connecting to the earth, but then feeling all the love in the world come through and descended out to the crowd. And I've never had a bigger experience in my life of just connection to all, sending love out. And I'm going to put Charlotte up, whether it's that topic or compassion. Because if it's words, there's about 1 trillion ways you can define compassion. Charlotte will give you some sort of a direction to take us on the topic of either flowing love or compassion.
But you see, compassion and love, it's the same thing. It took me a long time to know what compassion is. And actually, it was Kuan Yin that came through the transmissions that showed me the way to find compassion within myself. And it's love and compassion are the same thing, and both are not easy. Because we think, once again, we're going back to that what we think is, it's not, and what we think it's not is.
Yep.
So what we perceive compassion to be, when you go deeper within yourself, you will find that it's so much more.
I know Mother Teresa said, if you judge people, you have no time to love them. But I have a few
Exactly. You can't do both. Yeah. So it's either this or this. But you know, compassion, I found it's not easy, because if someone is going through a difficult time, we tend to step in and want to fix it and make it better for them. But true compassion understands that the person on the soul level, there's a difference between the personality level and the soul level. So on the soul level, we're all going through a journey. And sometimes instead of stepping in and assisting, a real compassion will ask you to step back and just allow whatever it is to unfold in that person's life. So for that person to go what they need to go through, because that will move them into a different state that they need to go through.
I love it.
That's why compassion, it's a tricky one.
I have a bunch of definitions from like angels and other loving figures from maybe 2014 or so. But before I do that, there's a classic expression. I think it was in a running, like a marathon, Olympic broadcasters maybe were talking, and one of them said something very profound. It's Olympic sports commentating, but experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. And I loved it, but I can already see you being
Can
able,
you please say it again, but
yes.
slower?
And I'll say it slower, but I can already
Yeah.
see Gabriela taking this expression and broadening it for all of us. Experience is what you get when you don't get what you want.
That's true.
But I already see a way that you can expand it out to like everything is your
Because
opportunity or
you
room.
see, once again, it goes back to what I just said a moment ago. There is the personality level. That's what we want. That's what Gabriela wants. That's how she wants to live her life, where she wants to live, who she wants to live with, what she wants to have around. And then there is a soul level. And so the soul will give me experiences which are not what I want, because we all want comfort. I want to be secure, I want to be comfortable, I want to be looked after, I want to be loved. And live in peace. That's the personality. Yeah. But it's not necessarily the way of the soul. Because to get to peace, I need to experience everything which peace is not. To know what love is, I have to experience everything which love is not. You see, that's why the soul will give me experiences which I don't want. I don't want to experience what love is not. I want to have love.
It's a bit like
That's
an
why,
ice sculpture, but sometimes the universe and angels are taking a blowtorch or at least a big pickaxe thing and knocking away and chipping away ice. And
yeah,
yeah, it's not all finished at the beginning. You've got a perfect ice swan.
no,
No.
no. And the chipping needs to take place, and that's the letting go. Yeah, so the chipping, it's the going into the core of it. So it's like love, it's covered by everything which it's not, and this needs to be experienced. And so you experience it and say, no, that's not it. Then the next layer, that's not it. So someone says, I love you, and then they treat you badly. And you say, oh, that doesn't feel good. So obviously this is not it. That someone says, I love you, and they lie to you. And you go, oh, that doesn't feel that good. So obviously this is not it. Then someone says, I love you, and they take advantage of you. And you say, oh, that doesn't feel good. That's not it. So the experience that the soul will give you, it's for you to discover what it is, really. But it's not what you want. It will not be what you want. But it's something that you need on the soul level to experience.
Everything instructs. I've got 4 random compassion quotes. Millicent, an angel, said, compassion is treating all with kindness and love. Mac, don't call her Mackenzie, another angel, said, treating every moment with the awareness of a newborn baby.
Oh, you see, they both very, very good. When I say good, it means that they speak to the heart. It means that they're evoking something. There is a resonance within. So the newborn baby looks at everything fresh and new. It doesn't have the mental concepts of what this world is. And it's everything, it's as it is. There is no resistance in the child. It just accepts whatever comes to its consciousness, to its awareness. There is a face of someone, there is a toy, there is a bird, and everything is wow. Because it just comes into my awareness. So whatever comes, it's there for me. And yeah, so that's a beautiful way of living on this earth.
Is that so, as they say in Zen philosophy? Is that so? I'm still working on that one 15 years later. Is that so? I'm coming to appreciate it now in the last year or two.
So
Um,
how are you taking this? Is that so? How
is that so? I had a little resistance on it like 10 to 5 years ago because I'm like, you can have a high vibe and you don't have to say, is that so to everything? But I believe it's internal. Your love is a constant, joy is a constant in and around you all the time. You only have to, I'm quoting Mary here, open your eyes to find love or open your eyes to find joy. Remember to remember, if you can remember, when you remember, to remember. Good luck. Being human, you know. So that's how I take it. But is that so? There are so many of the stories, the fisherman's village getting handed the baby in Zen, those Zen stories. And also the different stories with the sons getting drafted into war. One gets a broken leg, but then he can't get drafted into war. Everyone dies.
that's right.
Yeah, and the whole winning a lot of money, blah blah blah. So there's an external, there's an internal, but I love how Mary said, "Love is everywhere," or "Love is a constant." Open your eyes to find love, or to see love.
Uh, yeah.
Here's Mac. What does she have to say about how big it all is?
Shumani ekanaka ki eshete ki eshte shekanaka kinaka no ko komoko ishahate eshte tederaki yanaka. She actually refers to what we were just touching on, that is that so means that we go into that space of not knowing. So I think I know something, but is it so? Well, depending where I'm standing. So if I'm standing here, it appears this way. But if I go above it and see a bigger picture, it's different. So at any point, is that so really? And then I go even higher or wider and I see, ooh, so much more.
That's
So
the
we
biggest
don't really
definition I've
know.
ever heard. I like that.
Yeah, the more you expand on your view of the whole universe, the more you know that you know nothing, absolutely nothing. And whatever comes, you go, is that so? Yeah, could be. Yeah, probably. Because I don't know. In Course of Miracles, I think there is a sentence which says, I don't know what anything is or is for. So I would really take this and say, well, I don't really know what it is. Because I was conditioned that it's a book or what this is for, but it's not. It's transmission of light. It's not so. So we think we know we don't. So that's very good. And it might take you another 15 years to really...
I had something else that took me a long time. Oh, non-duality, the expression. Yeah, that's been floating around since 1992. And then around 2010, a Thich Nhat Hanh book said it perfectly, not two. And I was like, I waited 16 years for that definition. Exactly. Here's joy. I'm going to put my hands up and show light like we did before the show started. But she's going to do something fun. I don't know what it is, but you do. Or she's going to at least surprise you. It could be,
Let me feel her.
it could be glitter. It could be butterflies. It could be words. It could be light symbols. And she might already be starting across the board, but I'll still show my light. We got to do
You see,
something.
this was like a Schweppavescence.
Ooh.
Internal Schweppavescence, the bubbles inside.
Bubbles are good.
That's how I feel joy.
So I'll put my hands up and throw, there's just light flowing between my fingers, but the second people see it, Just be in your heart. You're already seeing light on everything. No triota. Always try Archangel Gabriel. Not about words. Let your heart just do the feeling, seeing. But once you see my light, let everyone kick it into gear and have more fun. Okay, here's a little bit of light. 2 fingers. And Gabriela, what are you seeing between my fingers?
Well, I'm seeing green light, and it's like swirling around. Yeah, before you even move your fingers, it's swirling around, but in a spiral, going deeper, deeper into your heart and going through you. So it's all the green light that it's, yes, interconnecting with you and with me and with everyone else. And it's a very healing light. So you can actually feel the spiral working within your heart and opening it up and expanding the area of your own being.
And I was smiling the whole time. I love that.
Yeah, and I could feel the opening.
Here's Mac and Joy. They'll float something your way, and then we'll get you talking.
Well, it seems that joy and freedom go hand in hand. That one, freedom brings joy and joy brings freedom. So this is worth contemplating. Because people search for freedom or people search for joy, but they actually come hand in hand.
Angels once said freedom happens when walls are removed. And I know that thinking is like a little Acme brick factory, making bricks that turn into walls because we judge everything and everyone and ourselves all the time. How is, again, letting go part of this process? It's a little funny to ask that question, but are we supposed to really let go on everything all the time? Good luck with that.
The first thing in the transmissions that the light being suggested for me was to look at the word mine, my husband, my family, my house, my handbag, my whatever, and let it go. That nothing is really mine. So, it's been like 12 years and I let go of the family home, of so many things.
No more handbag, no more husband, no more home.
You're laughing, but each one I had to go through a process of grieving.
Yes.
To actually let it go, because that it's not who I am. You see, we think that all these things define us. So I am the owner of a property. I am married. I am a business woman. I had to let go of my business that I built for so many years. And everything comes to a point when it's time, it served its purpose, because we tend to hold on and then attach ourselves to it. And actually, they served their purpose, and then it's time to let go. We had a holiday house on the ocean, and that had to go. So everything. Since 2016, both of my parents passed away. The dog passed away. Letting go, letting go, letting. So who am I without being a daughter? Who am I without the father? Who am I without owning things? So the letting go, it's a process. And as you say, it's like a brick wall all around me. And in order to find myself, who I am, I need to look at each brick and realize that that's not me. That's something that I picked up along the way, and now I am willing and ready to let it go. And that creates more and more space. Yeah. So mine, just look at this. Everything you define as mine. Just recently, I caught myself saying my birthday. So I will have to let that go. And then, even the story I have about myself, it's my story, that will have to go. So the external and the internal have to be looked at, realizing that's not who I am, and let it go. How do you feel about that, Michael?
I like it.
You have to let go of your pictures,
Yes,
let go
all
of
of
your
it.
identity as someone that works with angels. Yeah, it's a lot.
It keeps
Many
expanding.
bricks.
Yeah, it's if you'd asked me at the beginning, would I be doing like India
Yeah,
figures or galactic figures or this
that's
group,
right.
that group, or whoever? My parents are passed over, but a bunch of folks, like 100 plus folks, have seen them, chatted with them. They're both reconciled. Maybe
Yeah.
bigger backgrounds than I appreciate. But she's 5'4", 6'1". Here's Mike Senior and Barb, and you can hear some encouragement or something that's fun. Again, Mike Senior and Barb. If people want to ask a private question about their own life, they're happy to answer.
I just became very still, like my body posture changed and I became very still internally.
I didn't do it.
Now they just work through you and with me.
But she passed when I was turning 23. He passed in 1970 when I was 2. And it was his time to go, and it was her time to go when that all
That's
happened.
right. Yeah. All I'm getting, it's like we're all on the journey. And it's kind of never-ending journey. Yeah, so they passed over to another part and they're still traveling. So it's
I have,
not a destination. We're not getting somewhere. We're just moving.
yeah, breathe, enjoy the ride more. Have fun, laugh, dance. Plant flowers is one of my latest instructions, and more flowers, actually. It was both. Um, I have somebody you're going to need a seatbelt, car, roller coaster,
I'm ready.
Formula One, Geronimo.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
He is so gentle. He's action, action, action. He can seem like a tiger to some.
No, he's so connected to the great spirit of the mountains and the wind. And people who have a past life connection with him or Indian tribes and things like that will feel the resonance through the sounds. It will evoke something in them. Beautiful reminder.
How about a light being or the woman from Sirius coming in? I've got a light being I can suggest. Her name is Grace. Orange light enthusiasm. Can't beat that. If you'll allow for, I don't have any photos I'll use for this that I want to use. But Grace, a light being who's orange light enthusiasm, and the Syrian woman, green flowing outfit, loves nature like forests with pinpoints of light. And if you'll allow them to come in, yes. Wow.
It's a very light energy.
Yeah, that's why hopefully
Yeah,
we're talking some
yeah.
fun here. You'll come back on the show.
It's very light.
What are you getting from them that we can put into words for the audience?
Love, be present, and enjoy every experience. Just to know that everything is for me. Nothing is against me or punishment on it. Every experience that is coming into my awareness, it's for me, for my own growth, for my own evolution. And by doing that, we're opening up more to say, okay, I can just laugh and take it lightly. You know, when I first started to feel it, when I would say that life loves me, but I could feel it, and I could feel it every moment. It made a big difference. Yeah, I just feel the love that life has for me, and I have for life. And it's this beautiful circle of joy that I get to experience.
Grow your awareness, not your thinking. Discernment and contrast. I've got a great quote that came from
So,
a Netflix movie that I was looking for forever, and I found it. In the end, love is what shows us life in different colors. In the end, love is what shows us life in different colors. And I had two more quick concepts. How you spend your energy is how you spend it, and where you put your focus is where you put your focus.
that's
Between
true.
those four things, can you talk more?
Well, love will show you life in different colors because it's really like if we are wearing glasses. So if I am angry or frustrated, you see, it will color the lens through which I see life. If I am sad or depressed, the lenses will have a grayish color and I won't be able to enjoy life because of the lenses. That's how I view life. So when the higher vibrational frequencies come into our being, the lenses are being cleansed, and then we start to see life in different colors. And love, it's the highest vibration. So then everything is, as you're describing, sparkling with butterflies and very enjoyable, very enjoyable. But it's the frequency of the vibration that the person carries that allows them to see life through the different lens.
Gabriela, you're very organized. So, did I already blow sage on the show? I have no idea. Did I do it?
Not
I
you
did not.
haven't.
Okay,
Not
so
you
I'm going to
haven't.
blow sage. But if you would like to catch light, extra light coming off the sage or just in the air, catch flowers in the air, whatever people want to allow for, it doesn't have to be linear, but it can be. Obviously, it'll be linear if we're in our brain. But allow for what you can allow for. Let even the tea light from Crate and Barrel, a blue light, come to you. Why settle for ho hum? Not that sage is ho hum, but it might be singing. You can hear angels sing. You can hear Native American chiefs come in with the rattle and the skin on the circle thing that beats. And I'll blow through the microphone today. It's below the screen and catch a little Hawaii in the air. Let's go cross cultural. Catch sea spritz on your nose, the ocean. Wind in your hair. Anybody wants to play this back? Think of the peppermint patty commercials from 20 years ago, where you're just sticking your face out into the wind. Let angels do the blowing and let the wind be love or more.
Ashitenaka kono koma hate ika eka. Ashtoro hoto no ko kono koma hate eke shahate. Ishtono koe ahata ereke nakama hatu okoe hate ke eke. Eshtene shuko koe shahate eke neke ehe. Achmana hate hate hishike teke neke ako. Ushtoho toko no ko oko. Eshema hate eke easha. It's important for us to know our roots, where we come from, and our ancestry. And it's not just what we experience in this lifetime, but also in the journeys in other lifetimes. And we're all connected. And actually, these parts of our being are waiting for us to reconnect so we can truly remember who we are. Yeah.
I have another one for you. Our ocean angel, light waves of energy in water.
Mm.
And I'm going to blow again, the microphone. You'll hear the whooshing sound at least, and maybe move my hand once.
We tend to go around and around and around and around and around. However, each time we come to the same place, it's time to check with ourselves, am I the same or have I moved? Have I changed? Am I responding to the situation or to the person in the same way I have last time? Or am I responding, reacting, interacting with the situation or the person from a higher state of consciousness, from a different perspective, allowing more space for that to occur? That was her message.
Growth and expansion happens, and mankind is ready for more compassion and less rat race, and we have unlimited potential for growth and expansion, all of us.
That's, of course, we do. But it's a matter of taking the opportunity for that. See, so life will present. That's what she meant. We're going around and around. So life presents the opportunity for me to perhaps forgive that person, to look at the situation from a different perspective and see the role that they've played in my own journey, or the fact that they did the best they could, and I can see it with more compassion. Let's see that we're both humans, we both make mistakes, and perhaps I can open my heart and forgive that person for the harm, the pain that their action or the words have caused me. And so next time when we come around, our relating will be at a different level, different. And the person will feel it and I will feel it. So the opportunity is always there. It's a matter of...
Yeah, it's like being a student who just graduated from uni. You're 25, you were on the 8-year plan. Maybe you went in a year early. But the point is, you've graduated, you've never held a real job. You're living in the basement, and you have unlimited room for growth and expansion when it comes to jobs. You have to get out and get one at some point.
Exactly.
And that's all of us, no matter where we think we are, 120 hours a week working Wall Street, or we're working as a gardener, or not working. It's still, there's something happening called life. And as soon as you want to pay attention a little more, a lot of really fun stuff happens. With that, let's go spontaneous. If you were getting 50 euro, we'll do euro because it's better currency.
Okay.
50 euro. If you put your hand out, you don't have to do it on camera, but if you want to, you can. Like a landing pad. Let joy come in, but let someone else come in as light. When you see the light, bring it into your heart and get a total whooshing, and some words will come out of it all. But you're going to get a mystery guest who's love, joy in someone. And I didn't do it. We're blaming the fact that the show exists. Extra love in the moment. Fire a producer somewhere. Yes.
Ashumahatene ke ashahate kenika kakuyu huko nakamakatoko. Isteshekete ke kayakanakako. Ustoro shokoko isha.
You made me blush.
Well, you had a response
Oh, I'm turning
to
pink
what was.
here.
You see that the turning pink. You see that's why I'm a red, because every time energy is moving through me, I'm receiving, and as I receive, I heat up like a toaster. So you also received something, and the body responded, because you see that the light language, it's doesn't have a meaning behind words. It's vibrational language. So you either resonate with it or you don't. And you resonate through the body. So if the body responding, like relaxes or feeling something, it means that you're receiving the vibration that it's been transmitted.
I'm going to do the last interactive anything for this show, but you're welcome to come back on anytime. And I've already invited you off camera. Yes. So hopefully end of the summer, or this summer, or your winter, July and August or something, we'll get you on spontaneously. But here's Joy. If you could cup your hands, and I'm going to push light. I've never done it this way, but you're going to get an object out of the light in your hands. And I don't know, maybe a reminder for us all how to take it like less seriously. But here comes the whoosh. Let a beautiful bit of light show up in your hands. It may already be coming in, but I'll still push. And what are you seeing, feeling, receiving, having fun with?
Well, I'm seeing and receiving like a ball, moving ball. And I'm once again being reminded that that's how time, we can perceive time in a linear fashion or as a ball, where everything is interconnected, everything is moving at once, so there is no past, future, present. And in that ball, if I make a choice now, it affects the whole. Because in the linear, we tend to think, well, whatever happened, bad luck. I can't go back, I can't do anything. But in that fashion, with the ball, you see what I do now, it's
like a tennis ball or a
whole.
soccer ball or a tennis ball.
A soccer ball, yeah, a bigger ball, because, it contains a lot. So your past, future, present, all intertwined together, all interconnected. And that's the beauty of it, because if I forgive someone now, it affects the whole. It becomes, just a reminder.
I have my favorite quote here somewhere. Gary Zukav, and I try to do this on as many shows as I can to read this quote because I love all the different vibrational responses. And it's from Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know the book.
You change the way that you shape the light, which is flowing through you by changing your consciousness.
That's right. Yeah.
It's the ball, and it's also the perspective you talked about, broader and broader.
That's right. And your consciousness. So by changing, you see that's what we were talking about throughout this interaction. It's by changing the way I view things with the glasses, or by changing the way I react, respond to things, by changing the perspective. I'm changing my state of consciousness, and then that changes everything.
Well, Gabrielle, in one second.
He's a very wise man. I've read all his books. There was a time when I was reading hundreds of books, and each one added something, provided a quote, or shaped me. And then came a time when I was asked not to do that anymore, because I needed space for the other transmissions to come through. But yes, he's a very wise man, Garizakov. Yeah.
If you could, give us a closing reminder on just being.
The analogy with the children in the bus is the best. Because to be, just remind yourself to be wherever you are being. Standing in the queue, waiting for something, just be in the queue. Just engage your physical senses where you are. So smell the air, look around, see the person in front of you, what they're wearing, what kind of coat they're wearing. By doing this, you are presently in the space you're occupying, and you are being there. You're not somewhere else in your head. So it's always been in the body right now. And for years, it wasn't comfortable to be in my own body. So I would escape from the present. I wanted to be somewhere else. However, the more we practice being, just being where we are, with whomever we are, in whatever surroundings, the more we become comfortable with being.
And I'll say oysters, not oysters Rockefeller, but oysters, because shut tight like an oyster. This is the best. Shut tight like an oyster. The world is your oyster. And there's a contrast. And when you're in that line,
you're funny. You're very funny.
When you're in that line noticing the coat, there's a lot of people who are going to reach forward and touch that fur and rub their hand or even their cheek on it. So you're going to get caught. I'm just saying,
But that's fine. You see, that's fine. And you can laugh with the person saying, look, I just needed to do this just so I can be here.
Exactly.
They say, what are you talking about? And you're both laughing. And it's good. It's good. But we need to introduce the state of being into our everyday life, just so later on we can find a balance into being and doing.
Okay, green or blue?
Blue.
What color do you see? Gold, yellow, orange? There's no wrong or right answer.
No, it's gold.
Okay. Now, ask everybody to make it really nice. Have a little bit of flame or light come off my finger, but have some message come out of it. What are you seeing? Blame Joy. Don't blame me for this. But right in here, what are you seeing are you seeing a ball of light or, oh my God, my fingertip got hot?
Yeah, exactly. Your finger is on fire.
It's on fire. You see something there. What did you get? And what is the final reminder for us all for the show?
You see a fire, the fire that I saw on your finger.
It was hot.
Good.
Yeah.
You see, this fire, it's about transformation. Yeah, so fire needs to destroy what is for something else to be rebuilt. And it's the same in our life. Yeah, we need to allow things to crumble for us to rebuild. The trick is not to rebuild exactly the same, but to build something different and new. And that's the foundation of our life. So very often, what we perceive that it's the most horrible thing, like destruction, it's when we look back, we can see that that was needed, necessary for a growth and new life to emerge. So fire is beautiful.
Gabriela, wonderful having you on the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Michael. I had lots of fun, lots of energy, and it was a beautiful exchange. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Look forward to having you back again and staying in touch.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.